Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. This team could be a top team in the AFC for the next couple of weeks to come. Right now, they are 2-2, but they could easily be 3-1. But let's take a deeper dive when it comes to talking about this Cleveland Browns team. Their defense has been the best defense in the NFL this season. Jim Schwartz has come in and made this defense take a complete 180. They look phenomenal on that side of the football. After last season, they were the Achilles heel of the team. They couldn't get things going because Joe Woods was a bad defensive coordinator. They're number one in total defense. They're also number one in pass defense. They have 12 sacks as a team. Myles Garrett has 5.5 of those sacks, but they're still getting to the quarterback at a high rate and getting a lot of pressures. They are allowing the opposing team to only throw for 125 passing yards per game. They're fifth in rushing defense by only allowing 71.8 rush yards a game. That is phenomenal. Their defense is going out there and they're trying to do their best to get them to win each and every week. And they're playing against some pretty tough competition as well. They came out in week 1 and they made Joe Burrow look like a rookie again. And Joe Burrow had a very good rookie season, but they made him look like he never played NFL football before. They came out, put a lot of pressure on him, and the guys in the secondary did a number on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase as well. We have to give more than just Myles Garrett his credit. Dalvin Thompson has been a very good defensive tackle for this team. They got him in free agency. He's been very good at stopping the run and blowing up plays. Zadarius Smith hasn't been able to record a sack just yet. Hopefully that can change and go into the right direction for him. You also have guys in the secondary like Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome II, and Grant Delpit that are making a lot of good plays. And I like their linebackers as well, especially Anthony Walker Jr. So they're doing some good things on this team, especially on the defensive side. And Jim Schwartz has been the best coach on this coaching staff so far. And the reason why I say he's the best coach on this coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski's been making a lot of questionable decisions yet again. He made a lot of questionable play calls last season in regards of how he tried to rush Deshaun Watson into just getting back with the team, just trying to knock some of the rust off. He did more harm than good by doing that. Yes, you want Deshaun Watson to come in and play a lot of snaps, but it was the way that he managed the game in certain situations. It was a cold game last season to where he had Deshaun Watson throw the ball a lot instead of leaning on the run game with this team. This team has the 5th best rushing attack in the NFL. But they're 26th in pass offense. They have to get that together. And it's not just on Kevin Stefanski. Deshaun Watson has to step up as well. Deshaun Watson hasn't been horrible this season, but he hasn't been great either. He's had a lot of good moments. Just like the game against the Tennessee Titans, he looked really good. In the game against the Cincinnati Bengals, he didn't play the best because it was a rainy game, but he played very good. He had a rushing touchdown in the game. He also threw for a touchdown as well. He played fine in that game, but their expectations is for Deshaun Watson to play like a top 5 quarterback with this team and to go back to what he was doing with the Houston Texans. Now, the situation is different. He doesn't have to fully put this team on his back because the defensive talent is so good, and he actually has a good running game with this team. He just has to go out, see the field more, and work off of play action. And that's when Deshaun Watson can be at his best. Right now, he's scrambling outside the pocket for a lot of reasons. Jedrick Wills has not been a good tackle this season. Jedrick Wills needs to do better. He has regressed in every single season since his rookie season, and he was a first-round pick with this team. He has to be better. Right now, he looks like he's a liability with this team. You also have DeJuan Jones at the right tackle position. Jack Conklin's on IR, and he's out for the rest of the season. He got hurt in the Pittsburgh Steelers game, that Monday Night Football game, the same game that Nick Chubb went down with his knee injury. DeJuan Jones has stepped in, and he can be a franchise tackle with this team. He has good upside. He's 6'8", 374 pounds. He's going to have to come in and he's going to have to continue with the good play that he's shown in the past. But remember that he is still a rookie. But these tackles are going to definitely have to step up with this team. But guys like Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt and Pierre Strong are very good running backs in this system. And I expect for Kevin Stefanski to go in after this bye week and to continue to run the football with those guys. I really like Jerome Ford as a running back. He stepped in that Steelers game and performed very well when Nick Chubb went down. You also have good wide receivers such as Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and Donovan Peoples-Jones as well. Just use Donovan Peoples-Jones to open some things up. Right now, Elijah Moore has 148 receiving yards on the season, while Donovan Peoples-Jones only has six receptions for 75 receiving yards. He has to be better as well. But Amari Cooper is the number 1 wide receiver with this team, but he only has 1 receiving touchdown. Target these receivers more and get them into space and use more than just the basic passing concepts with this team. And another reason why I'm coming at Kevin Stefanski so much, I like him as a head coach. He had a tremendous stint when he was able to go out there and make the playoffs with Baker Mayfield, and they won that playoff game. Granted, he then coached that game because he was dealing with the pandemic issue, but he still got the Browns to the playoffs, and they did a lot of good in that season with Baker Mayfield, who was a liability with this team. You had Dorian Thompson-Robinson come in week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens. Deshaun Watson was out. He was cleared, but he wasn't comfortable with playing. So DTR had to come in. Why does he have 36 pass attempts? He's a rookie going against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Get the run game going. Pierre Strong had 5 carries for 49 yards. Jerome Ford had 9 carries for 26 yards, but you still could have got him into a better flow of just running the football. Instead, you want to go out there and just have him pass the ball for 36 times, and he only had 121 passing yards and 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video, this team could easily be 3-1. I want to go back to that Steelers game. When they went against the Steelers, they had them dead to rights. But 2 turnovers by Deshaun Watson resulted into points and resulted into touchdowns. It was a pick 6 to Alex Highsmith, which was not Deshaun Watson's fault. The tight end pulled up, and it was just a pick 6 play. Then he fumbled later in the game in the 4th quarter. TJ Watt scoops it up. It goes for a touchdown. If that doesn't happen in that game, and I hate to be one of those guys, if this didn't happen, if that didn't happen, if that doesn't happen with how this defense is playing and how they played against the Steelers, they win that game. They're 3-1, and they have another division win. So instead of just being 2-2, you could be 3-1 with a division win over the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. You could be in a good situation. But instead, you lost to the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's not the end of the world at all. Like I mentioned before, Deshaun Watson has had a lot of good moments this season as well. He's had some bad moments, but with his good moments, like I had against Tennessee Titans when they won 27-3, we need more of that Deshaun Watson. 27-33, 289 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and he got sacked 3 times with 0 interceptions. If Deshaun Watson go out there and play clean football and he can hit these wide receivers in space, they can be on to something, because this defense is going to carry over. What Jim Schwartz is doing right now is phenomenal, and I still am holding on to the Cleveland Browns making a deep playoff run. Look at how this division looks right now. The Baltimore Ravens seem like they're the best team in this division, but I believe the Cleveland Browns can give them a run for their money. The Steelers are going through an offensive crisis right now. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow is beat up, and their defense is not the best right now with those safeties. And this team already beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and you held them to 3 points. So I believe the Cleveland Browns are in a good situation. This defense will continue to get better. As long as Deshaun Watson and Kevin Stefanski can carry their side of things, this team will be dangerous to watch out for in the AFC. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the Cleveland Browns. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.